you had a Merry Christmas. Gosh dang it. Get this thing turned around. You can see my little mirror that I use there to make sure that the feed's going through. So I can see what I've got going on my end. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all? I hope you had a good Christmas. So, literally, I wasn't sure how many of you would even be able to make today's show. A lot of times, holidays take us away from our normal routine. So I just decided not to make anything really, I don't know, land breaking or whatever the term would be. Oh my God, guys, how come you guys didn't tell me that I should have been filming my reaction at the end of Mandalorian on the last season? Holy smokes. Um, what an amazing way to end the season that they did on The Mandalorian. I swear to God, if you are a Star Wars fan and you haven't been watching The Mandalorian, you're truly missing out on a very, very, very good show. Very well done. And it definitely pays attention to the fans. So it's not one of these that has said, F you fans, we're doing our own thing. No, it's really, really, if you're a fan of Star Wars, I mean like a fan, like a long time fan, it's there. But it also is enough new story, I think, to entice any of the new younger generation of Star Wars. I mean, Yoda's cute as hell, but the yeah, for fact, I was a mess at the end of that, and there's all these reaction videos of like, gosh dang it, I should have done a reaction video. I couldn't believe skin was crawling, tears were falling. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Last episode, holy cow, sheesh. Can't even tell you. I don't even know what to say. So, anyhow, I just kind of left this one up for you guys. We can talk about what you got going on. I will show you what I have coming up, and I'm probably going to unbox this Jow doll that I got. In all honesty, it's the European brown skin big bust. But I've got the Dark Spider coming up, which is a Spider Noir from, I think it's supposed to be the PlayStation Spider Noir. It's a third party made by So Toys. Got that one coming up soon. Finally got my Captain America Old Soldier and bench. This was, gosh, the Hong Kong retailer that sold it to me shipped it like in October or something along that line. Let me see what's the date say on here. It literally sat in the airport over there for like almost a month or maybe more. Let's see if I see a date on here. I don't see a date, but I've been tracking it all along. We talked about it before. It's literally sat over there in the airport before even coming over this way for like 5 or 6 weeks, just sitting there, not doing anything. So I was really happy to get that. So that's what I've got coming up. Of course, got the Replicate for Dragon Slayer for next week. But how'd you guys do for Christmas? Let's see, Toys Mafia, how you doing, man? Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Good morning. Yes, I did. It was a good Christmas. Very good Christmas. Save on Mason, good morning. Oh my goodness, so I don't know how much news this is to you guys, but it was kind of news to me. All the new Marvel phase that they've got coming out and all the movies that are coming out. And one of them is Shang Fui, the Mandarin, more or less, is getting a movie. So I'm sure you'll be happy to see that. Save on my song. It's supposed to be playing off of or continuing on the story that they made, that small little featurette where they kind of followed up the Mandarins actually in jail and whatever else. Hail to the King, I think is what it was called. Like a little 10-minute little movie, little Marvel movie. Showed Justin Hammer in jail also. So going with that. Of course, Spider-Man. Evidently they've been filming that for the last couple of months in Atlanta. The new Spider-Man 3 is what they're calling it. And I guess from my understanding, Toby's the only one that they haven't negotiated fully contract signatures. He hasn't signed the contract yet. I guess Andrew's already signed the contract, even though nothing's in stone. Sony's not actually come right out and said this is what's going on, but I suppose this is what the scuttlebutt is, what's been shared around, and as to how we're going. So it's going to be. It appears that there's going to be the mashup of Toby and Andrew and Jamie Foxx as Electro, and I forget the name of the actor who played the Doc Ock. I mean, all of them supposed to be supposed to be in filming right now. They're supposed to be filming right now in Atlanta. Jake, how you doing, man? Yeah, I do too. I hope every one of you had a good Christmas. Denmark, Martin Rygard, how you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. Ian, I have not seen Wonder Woman. So is that a movie or is it a television? Is it on television or is it a movie? It's a movie, right? If it's a movie, all the theaters are closed here where I live. Is it in the theaters? The new Wonder Woman? It was like Christmas or something this year. It's supposed to come out or something. And I was like, how? The theaters are closed. You ain't going to a movie. I'm gonna get this out of this package here. Shown on TV. What? Come on. The new Wonder Woman was on TV last night. What? Who's hosting it? Who has the stream for it? Who has the stream? Is this the 1984 Wonder Woman? And do you have to have seen the other Wonder Woman movies first? Or just the general knowledge of Wonder Woman will do it? Because, of course, my really only knowledge of Wonder Woman is the Justice League cartoons and what was her name that played Wonder Woman back in the early 80s? Linda Carter? That's my Wonder Woman knowledge. Is it on Netflix? Disney? No, it's not on Disney. So Netflix? Hulu? Nondescript box. One of these is the bench, and one of these is the old soldier. Who'd this come from? This came from, I think this came from 1/6 Kit. I bought a lot of stuff from Kit Chen. You find him on Facebook. He's got a website. I bought a lot of stuff from him, and there's been, I tell you what, you can't find anybody who's sold anything in their entire life who's pleased every single person. I've never had a problem with Kit Chen. I've never had a problem with Toys Wonder Man. I've had some problems with Sideshow. But there are people who will say that they won't purchase from this person or that person for whatever reason. I understand that. I mean, that's why there's a Walmart and a Target. They sell the exact same products. That's why there's a Costco and a Sam's Wholesale selling the exact same products. But this is from Kit Chen. Pretty sure that's who it was. 1/6 Kit. Got a website also. I checked out the Pepper Potts head sculpt. Looks pretty good. And I pulled down my old Pepper here and checked her to the Gwyneth Paltrow photographs from Iron Man 3, which is what that's supposed to be from, that Pepper Potts there. And I had felt for a long time that it really didn't look like her. I disagree. I think they did a good enough job. It's just she literally appears, as I'm looking at the photographs of her from that time frame, I'm like, she does kind of look just like this. I hate to say it, generic female. Because when I look at that, I'm like, God, this looks like Gwyneth Paltrow. It really does. It's because she has this, in real life, she has this smile about her, which is just this really overwhelming smile. It's just this really gleeful, in your face, I'm happy as can be smile. And we don't get that in this head sculpt. And as we discussed last week, sometimes putting a smile on a figure can be real creepy, like the Paul Rudd Ant-Man figure. And by the way, I researched that too. But no, that pepper head sculpt looks good. If you want a pepper pots, I mean, it looks good. I'm considering getting it and kit bashing a couple more pepper pots because I've wanted some pepper pie. I've wanted pepper for a long time. So, okay, so here's the old soldier. So this must be the bench. So this is my old soldier Captain America. I'll be doing that. I'll probably do the Replicate Dragon's Lair next week. Probably do Spider Noir. The next week, we'll do Captain America. Week after that. One thing I hadn't noticed this year, of every other year, is a whole lot of drops would come this year. And I guess they're just all out of whack from COVID still. I've got like 8, 10 figures that I don't know anything about yet. They've not told me anything. You guys have gotten them. For instance, the Wasp has come and I haven't heard anything about my Wasp. And so there's just a lot of figures that I should have been getting billed for. I should have been getting notifications saying, hey, these figures are coming, crank out your wallet. Happens every year at Christmas time. I didn't get that this year. I mean, normally I'd be sitting around January and February with nothing to do because everything came at Christmas. And that's not going to be the case, evidently, because there's a lot of figures that you guys have seen or have come and have arrived I haven't gotten yet. And the Wasp is one of them. I can't remember some of the others, but there's just figures that just haven't made it yet. It's really interesting. Weird year. And I looked up speaking of Ant-Man and Paul Rudd, and I had a problem with, he had a double chin in one head sculpt and not a double chin in the second head sculpt. And one of you said this last week, that maybe he just gained weight. And sure enough, as I'm looking at all the photographs, it's exactly what he did. He's no longer as young a man as he was years ago. And this last, Ant-Man was in 2015, if I remember correctly. So from 2015 to 2020, he's got a little rounded there. So he'd lost that when his face was skinnier. The chin was very profound with that double chin thing in there. But just as myself, I've gotten more round in my years, and his double chin is now gone. So both of those head sculpts are dead on for the time frame that he is. When he was younger, full on double chin. Now, one chin. Same character, same actor. So we're good to go on that too, which was a concern of mine last week when I unboxed my Ant-Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm like, somebody screwed up here. No, they didn't. These guys are really on to their job, man. These sculptors and artists, they're not messing around. So sometimes I'm getting a little upset over figures, and I have justification, i.e. Ronin and in-game or Infinity War, Black Widow, and Venom Pool. I mean, I feel I'm totally justified in those arguments that those figures are crap, but are not worth their $200 or $300 or $400, whatever you pay for them. But upon further investigation on the others, I'm pretty confident that the artists did their jobs. They did their what's the word? Due diligence? Would that be right? I think due diligence would be right. Oh, what do we got here? You guys have been talking good, and I've been missing. I'm sorry. So HBO Max. Okay, I don't have HBO Max. I've got to get HBO Max because I want to watch Game of Thrones so badly. And I guess I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to get HBO Max, watch Game of Thrones, and watch Wonder Woman, and go from there. Heck yeah. Robert, Merry Christmas. Eric, how you doing, man? Thank you for that about HBO Max. CBS Sci-Fi, hello. Again, I hope every one of you had a great Christmas. I hope you didn't eat too much Christmas cookies and get all fat. I know I did. I ate a lot. I mean, I was so stuffed last night. I was miserable. I ate so much that I was miserable. HBO Max for any of the by any means necessary. So it's that good. Wow. Lovely Linda. Oh, no way. Love Linda Carter, man. She was great. It was nice to see her do the cameo in that Super Troopers movie. If you ever seen a stupid movie, It's a funny movie. Linda Carter plays in Super Troopers. Was it Super Trooper 2? I think she's a Super Troopers 2. Don't remember. It's good seeing her again after so many years. I've banned from. Oh no! Yeah, you know what? I thought one time that he had done me wrong, and I contacted him, and I wasn't too pleased. And he's a person just like the rest of us, and I probably pushed it at that point. But no, it's been good from there. Matter of fact, these pieces here, this toys box Hall of Armor set I bought from him, $100 a piece or $110 a piece or something. And of course, they're being shipped from literally the other side of the world. And when they came to me, gosh, probably three or four of them were destroyed. And it had nothing to do with the way that he had packaged them and shipped them out. It literally had to do with how Toys Box had placed the pieces in the boxes. So they come in this, and the way they had them put in here, they put the side panels in such a way that they were right up against the bottom of this box. These side panels were right there with nothing stopping them. And this is thin acrylic, thin plexiglass. And so, as they were tossed around in the boxes by the shippers and whatever else, I ended up getting 4 or 5 of them just destroyed, just absolutely destroyed, as they were bounced onto these edges. And so these little acrylic pieces that they all got broke right here. And you can see this one here is one of them still. It's just shattered right down the line there from it hitting like that. It had nothing to do with him. Nothing. And I contacted him. I said, dude, for real, 4 or 5 of these are smashed. $500 worth of them, And he sent right out to me brand new ones. It cost me a penny. And I was really impressed with that. Hell, I've had to contact Sideshow about some toys or whatever that weren't functioning. They just ignored me. Thought I was feeding them a line of shit, and had to send them all sorts of proof and evidence and everything. I'm like, look, I'm not making this up. The first R5D4 they sent me, you pulled his little eye socket, and his motivator didn't pop up. So I contacted them. I said, my R5D4 has a bad motivator. And I guess they thought I was bullshitting them, because that's what happened in the movie, right? And it didn't work. And it took them half a forever to take care of me on that. So even, these companies that are the direct representative for Sideshow and Hot Toys, my gosh darn Mark 7 Stealth, I think it was. I don't remember. They sent a whole batch of bad ones where the pose stand didn't screw into the base. You couldn't display the gosh darn figure. And I'm the last person on the planet to get anything, even though I order it. Well, not anymore, but I used to order them on the first day within minutes of them being on the available for order. I'd still be the last person on the planet to get one. And by the time I finally got my Mark 7 and verified that I had the exact same problem, contacted Sideshow. Sideshow said they were no longer reimbursing or replacing the pieces for the Mark 7. So they told me to get bent. I'm stuck with a piece that didn't fucking work right. The pole and the base don't connect properly. And so I've had to use others, which is fine, because over the years now, I have a lot more extra pieces. But back then I didn't have. That was still in the infancy of my collection in that regards. So, I mean, I've been done wrong by a lot of other companies that are supposed to be more reputable and higher class than that. So, no, I understand how it goes. That's why there's a Target, and that's why there's a Walmart. Target pisses you off, go right across the street to Walmart, get the exact same product, probably for less. Beware buying from anybody. Beware buying from anyone, to tell you the truth. So I was on Sideshow so spectacular, and no way. Oh wow! Jeez, you got a 1/4 scale Cyclops. Good job, Save on Maison. Which is your favorite Feisty TV girl? Man, I got to tell you what. Um, I don't know. Love my Lady Deaths and I love my Vampirellas. I have a slew of them. However, Vampirella, they've gone insane now. They've got the Caroline Monroe Vampirella, which is freaking $400 or some insane price. And I literally had to say, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done on that." Um, you can't go wrong on any of them. Each one is a little different. I did a video talking about a lot of them, and I need to start getting some of the guys for that. But what's so nice about it, the female agent is my wife's figure. Bought her for my wife years ago. She really enjoyed that, and I've used figures to make Poison. I've used figures to make Near Automata. Used figures to make my Peggy Carter. I've used figures to make Ray. Fison figures. I've got Velma and Daphne there are Fison figures, and from Scooby Doo. And I wouldn't say that there is a favorite. I really like it when they have the seamless ankles, and I wish they offered that in more of their designs. I really wish that every time they made X, they made Y also. If they're going to make a detachable feet, make a seamless feet too. However, when posing them, the seamless feet don't seem to have necessarily the strength in regards to standing up on their own, if that's important to you, whereas obviously the detachable ones do. But there are instances when obviously you don't want, if at all possible, to have that seam in that foot. You want to be able to look at the natural form of the female body and take an enjoyment out of that in that capacity. One of the things somebody had asked recently was in regards to these red shoes that the poison accessories came from to go into the Fison. And so I'll show you her. So this isn't a Fison poison. You buy the accessories to make Poison, and then you buy your Fison figure to go along with that. Oh, come on, this thing. Hell. I'm really pulling with all my strength to keep, but I don't want to shoot my figure straight up into the air to get her out of this. Here, let's see if I can get her out now. They were asking about these red shoes. Do they fit her? And I'm just going to show you if I can get her out of here. Oh, come on. So I don't remember who made the accessory set. I believe I bought two of them. And if you'll notice here, the seamless shoes don't necessarily fit in her feet there all the way. So let's get the detachable feet to see if they will fit for if you're wanting to use the shoes for something else. If you're going to put her in jeans or something, or you don't care if there's a seam there. I should. I know I got her shoes over there with my Gwen. So let me just take these. Let's take one of these shoes because I was asked this the other day, and I said that I would discuss this. Let's see how the shoes fit on a detachable foot. I'll do a Fison and a Jow doll. I happen to still have my Jow doll here for my Asian, and so they have a high foot. We'll put the detachable in there, and the Jow fits nicely. Okay, that's a Jow tiptoe or high foot. Fits in there perfect. Also, another thing you have with Jow dolls is this no toe foot. It can be used as well. It's pretty loose in there, and it doesn't seem to go up all the way, but it can. If you wanted to do that, go with that direction. And let's get a Fison up here. That's not my PQR Xbox open. Yeah, matter of fact, here's the other pieces to the other poison that I've bought right there, needing to be cataloged and put in here. So we're going after our Fison foot, right? Hands, feet. All right, the flat foot will not go in there. The Fison detachable flat foot will not go in there at all. Let's find a high heel foot. Do I not have any high heel feet in here? Here's a high heel foot. It's a wrong size high heel foot. Here we go. I need a right high heel foot, not a left. Here we go. So there's the right high heel foot for a Fison, and it does go in there well. So you can either the detachable feet actually fit the shoe better than the seamless ankles for this pair of high heels that came with the poison figure, which was a question that was asked me this week. And I try to respond to every question. If I don't respond to you, either it's because I plan on talking to you on Saturday about it, or because I'm like, give me a break, I'm not going to respond to this. So, but I see all of your questions. If you shoot me an email, sometimes they may get lost in the junk folder. I try to go through the thousands of junk mail I have every day just to make sure I don't miss anything from any of you guys. But YouTube, I normally I get those notifications always. If you guys ever respond to a video, I get those, and I'll either respond to the video or I'll talk to you here. Hell, I've even talked to some of you on Facebook Messenger and live chatted with you. No problem with that if I got a moment. Love you guys, man. So my favorite Fison, any of them. Some of them they paint, muscles on their bodies. You'll see a definition of a muscle, and that's cool. But gosh, yeah, any of them. And I prefer the seamless ankles over the others. There was a company I've considered seeking out some of their dolls. They don't make them anymore, best of my knowledge. But there was a company that made seamless wrists on these figures for the female figures, and I don't remember the name of them. You guys are probably familiar with who I'm talking about, and I've considered buying some of these older ones. Problem is with these older figures, and I'm really nervous about my own collection, sometimes they start degrading and breaking down. I'm really worried about that in the future with these guys, if that's going to be something I'm going to really have to be worried over. And I don't want to put chemicals on my figures if they're going to harm the figure either, but I don't want to not chemically treat the figure if the chemicals will prevent it from breaking down and dissolving. And I'm really nervous about that. I really am. Which, of course, then is another reason why I'm really excited about this Spider-Man 3 movie with Toby and Andrew coming back, because maybe that will motivate them to re-release. I'm normally not a fan of re-releases, but I've seen some of those older Spider-Man figures, and some of them aren't faring too well, Hot Toys figures. So it'd be nice to be able to have something reissuing, if you will, of that, and with that being corrected as such. So, and of course, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan as it is. I swear to God, I hope they make every single Spider-Man. You know, they've been really dragging on this Iron Man for quite some time, and it's really bothering me. But I really hope that they continue out with this PS4/PS5 or whatever Spider-Man thing that they've got going down. That would be great. Uh, you got the Wasp. Oh, see, haven't I even heard anything about my Wasp yet? She looks amazing. Oh my God. Please tell me she's amazing. As a purchase from Kit through eBay. My wish list: Mark 7, Mark 85, and Loki, and Flash Gordon. Ming, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a new Loki movie coming out, right, too? Or something like that. Or a television series. I'm not sure. That looks exciting. Uh, Let's see what we got here. Uh, all the dislikes for Mark 85, and now it's pushed back. Really? No, I did not know that. They did that to my Deadpool. When Deadpool, forget which Deadpool it was. It may have been the very first Deadpool that they made. There was wrist problems, and all of you guys that got yours first, most of you, had to send them back because they were fraying up at the connections of the hands onto the wrist. So I didn't even get mine. Mine. So they were coming out like I don't remember. Let's just say July. So July, you guys started getting them. August, you guys started getting them, and all of a sudden they started going back. And so I would have got mine. Normally I get my figures 2 full months after they're delivered in Hong Kong or China or wherever. You guys are picking them up there, and I don't get it for 2 months. And so that's why sometimes it's advantageous for some of you to pay a company like Toys Wonderland or 1/6 Kid or somebody who's willing to get you that figure now instead of waiting for Sideshow to deliver it to you in 2 months' time. So July and August came, and when my Deadpool should have been being sent to me, it wasn't, because they sent them all back to redo the wrists. So then I evidently got the 2.0 version of Deadpool, and because he didn't have a wrist problem when he came to me finally in like October or whatever that was. So now they're doing that with the Mark 85, huh? Jeez. That's going. I bought 1/6 Kit. God, it's very good. You need to see it. Just getting over COVID. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Glad to see that you made it. That's good news. Robert from eBay, but wasn't sure. Went through, and the guy gave me an attitude. you know, like I said, anytime you're in retail, you're gonna upset somebody. There's an old saying I know you guys know that says you can please 100% of the people some of the time, and you can please some of the people 100% of the time, but you'll never please 100% of the people 100% of the time. And so that it just happens. And I hate to hear you guys. I mean, I bitch all the time about problems I've had with this and that and whatever else. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. But yeah, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Something's gonna get your burr going. You know what I mean? Big Dub, he has sold a lot of Hot Toys, but not all of them. No, I don't know who that is. Why Big Dub sells stuff? He's just sold up. So he's selling his figures to keep his collection reasonable instead of collecting and selling. So he's just getting rid of some of his figures he doesn't care for that much anymore. I have to check that out. I'm not sure who Big Dub is. So be careful from 1/6 Kit. Be careful with anybody. I'm telling you, man. Sideshow's told me to get bent twice. Sideshow, the official distributors on this entire hemisphere of Hot Toys figures, told me to go get bent. Who the hell am I going to complain to then? Hot Toys? They don't hear it because they're not the ones that sold it to me. Sideshow was. So, yeah, I don't tell you. 1/6 Kit, I don't think is an official distributor of Hot Toys figures. I think he's buying them and just reselling them. So, you got to keep that in mind. Like I say, he took care of me on these $500 worth of toys box Hall of Armors, and he's not cutting me any check. He's not giving me any discounts. He doesn't give anybody else on figures. He started a discount program several months ago, and you can earn points that way. But I'm not endorsed by anybody. Unlike people like Justin's Collection and what tells that kid out there in Southern California, gosh dang it, who's been endorsed by Sideshow, and they are getting all this stuff and whatever else and from doing their videos. And I'm not getting jacked, man. I'm just sharing this with you guys. Whatever discount I get, I earn, just like you guys do, from buying so much stuff. I'm not getting endorsed by anybody. So if I'm endorsing somebody, it's on me. That's only because of my own experience. So, but like I said, the reason there's a Walmart and the reason there's a Target is because somebody's going to get pissed off somewhere. And I don't know who Big Dub is. What's his website? He's slim now too. Okay, God, I have no idea who you guys are even talking about. I think between losing weight and having a woman, and I'm guessing he wanted money more for his family. It gets that way. I could imagine. I mean, well, I know it gets that way. It's not an imagine. I'm there. It'll get stuff. New life. Soon we'll be all gonna get sell stuff. Yeah, you would hope. You would hope that you could sell your stuff and turn a small profit. You know, you would hope that everything goes up in value. You know, just you still have fun with the hobby no matter. There's a lot of figures that I've purchased that are not worth what I paid for them. They just don't hold their value because there were so many of them, or just wasn't a popular figure, or whatever. You know, and that happens. Like, gosh, I think you can still buy Chitauri soldiers. You can still buy Chitauri commanders and Chitauri foot soldiers, brand spanking new. And I paid regular price for them, you know, and I guarantee you guys wouldn't pay regular price for them. Or, for instance, like my Hot Toys Electro, I paid $50 for them, brand new, from all the discounts that they had on them. They kept lowering the price on them, lowering the price of them, and I guarantee you, there's some of you that dropped close to $200 on him. And so there's sometimes there's a figure you just lose out on. It's not going to happen. Uh, really, so he's really emptied out. Who's Big Dub, man? What's his website? Sometimes just don't fit the collection anymore, right? I know what you're talking about. Uh, got so many franchises. I try to keep live action movies, and that's where I'm at too. You know, just with the Marvel, more or less, cinematic universe franchise and the Sony Spider-Man franchise, and then of course some of the other ones that I really have some passion about are Vampirella and Lady Death, my Daphne and Velma. But for the most part, I'm really just Marvel, uh, MCU. I don't even know if I have very many, if any, of the outside of the MCU Marvel figures like the X Men. Not talking about Deadpool because he really is kind of his own, but he is also part of the X Men thing. But I don't have very many, if any, of the Fox figures, except for the Deadpool line. So it's so hard, with all the different franchises that are out there, and you got the Terminator line, the Predator line, Aliens line, um, DC, Disney figures. You could really just be overwhelmed. Star Wars, and I mean, look what this is, and that's literally a restrained collection. This is, and where I'm at. I mean, gosh, could you imagine? Some of you guys are Star Wars fans, obviously, and if you had just one of every stormtrooper that they make, like in my Iron Man collection here, how many stormtroopers are there? 50, 75 different stormtroopers? Sheesh, just the stormtroopers. Like 7 or 8 Darth Vaders. It can really become overwhelming. It can really grow out of control real quick. So that's why for new collectors, obviously, one of the things I always want to tell you is collect what you want. Collect that you have an attachment to. Don't just buy something without really being connected to it. Don't just, in my opinion, don't buy something if you can't look at that and just find your center with it. If you can't look at that, just enjoy having it and appreciate that it's there. If it doesn't fit your narrative or your story or whatever it is you've got going on, if it doesn't fit the plan, don't get it. Don't do it. Now, if you think you can turn a buck on it and you're buying it because you want to try to resell it, that's a different story. But yeah, just don't get something that you're not going to absolutely be in love with, because you're going to get figures that you thought you're going to be in love with and you're just not going to love. So, yeah, don't do it. Sometimes I feel I try to stay with live action movies, but sometimes my cartoons. There you get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. God, Power Rangers too. Man, when I seen that, I was like, "Oh, the Power Rangers! I gotta get the Power Rangers!" And of course, I said, "I put the brakes on it." And jeez, some of my NECA horror. Oh, so like what? Jason and all, Freddy and all them. Is that the ones that who makes the NECA horror figures? Godzilla stayed. Yeah, and I get regular Godzilla. Right there, you go. Matt 2310, how you doing, man? 116 female I have is Leia, episode 4, and Rose Tyler, nice, from Doctor Who. Was thinking Kit Mash and Hathaway Catwoman in the maid outfit. I've not seen that. I've seen a lot of maid outfits out there, but that would be nice. Cat and then Hathaway Catwoman, especially with the new Bat. Wasn't she the one that was with the Batman with the Bat Pod? Also, was that the same one? Am I right? Don't know her body type though. Hmm. I don't know either. Um, but there's definitely a lot of different sizes from the Jowl dolls, which are extremely bosomed out, to some of the new Bisons that have been coming out that are not bosomed much at all. And so you can really start getting those. The ones I did just the other day was what we were talking about with Pepper about. The small breast Asian ones were perfectly sized for a Gwyneth Paltrow figure. And so whatever size she is, there's a Fison figure, I think, that would probably fit her as well. I've not looked her up, but I don't know what she looks like either. Sarah Connor from the first movie. Sarah Connor. There you go. Some girls for Bond. James Bond. You can't go wrong with any of them. Whoever your Bond is, and I don't remember how many characters. I don't know how many actors have played James Bond. I think some people say that Sean Connery was the first, but if I remember correctly, Sean Connery was actually the second Bond. And I may be wrong here, but I'm almost positive there was somebody that played Bond in one movie before Sean Connery, and then you had Roger Moore, and then you had Timothy Dalton, and then I think we had Pierce Brosnan, and then we had somebody that I'm missing here, I think, and then Daniel Craig, I think, is the current one, and each person has a Bond that they relate to. I think Sean Connery is probably hands down the absolute most popular James Bond out of all of them. I think ultimately everyone's going to say Connery at some point, but and there's a lot of people that just don't like Dalton or they don't like Moore, but I think everyone has their own Bond. Kind of like Superman. You've had so many people portray Superman over the years, Christopher Reeves and don't even get me wrong, George, the black and white guy, what was his name, and then the Adventures of Lois Clark and Smallville and Cavill and all these guys that play Superman, and all the guys that play Batman, Keaton and Nolan, and you have your guy that is your guy or girl, whatever the case is, and that is a whole nother ball of wax in regards to who people will collect on top of that. You can't go wrong with any Bond though. No way. Yeah, put some hoochies on there, man. That'd be great. Was 10 out of 10. Wow. Changing Tony's head. So they screwed up the head sculpt, huh? Hey Siri, with diecast Mark 7, are the parts compatible with the plastic version? No. No, they're not. Totally redesigned figure from the ground up. The Mark 7 diecast is. And that's also why I still like my Mark 7 plastics, because they're a different interpretation of the figure. The sevens the plastics are very shiny, and the more movement in the flaps in the back. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. The die cast is a more of a matte finish, which actually is, upon viewing the footage, more screen accurate instead of it being so shiny. And the flaps don't move as much, and God, pieces even actually fall off of the Mark 7. Every time I grab my die cast, I end up knocking these little pieces off of his hips, his back of his pelvic back area back there. They just fall clean off. But the Mark 7 diecast is amazing. But you're not going to go wrong on any Mark 7. If you're looking for a Mark 7 just put in your collection, you can't go wrong. I've got 2 diecasts and the 2 stealths and the Arctic, and a red plastic here. And then, of course, when you count the 21s, those are really sevens. So I've got two of those. So what is that? 2, 5, 7, 8, 8 or 9 Mark 7s. If you count the Mark 21s as a Mark 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know there's one I'm probably forgetting someplace. So I have at least 8 of them. And I've got the Mark 21 Midas die cast on order too. That's supposed to be coming soon as well. I think some of you guys have already gotten that figure. But no, you can't go wrong with the Mark 7 at all. Mark 7 really is like the definitive Iron Man. If you want to go with like classic MCU Iron Man, the Mark 7 really is like the cream of the crop in that regards. Uh, your 42, 43s, your 47, the 50, the 85, these are all monumental figures. Any of the first 7 as well. But you really can't go wrong with the 7. If you wanted to just display an Iron Man, represent an Iron Man in your collection, if you happen to be somebody who's not necessarily focused on one specific franchise or whatever, and you just want to have an Iron Man, you can't go wrong with the Mark 7. Either or, the plastic or the die cast. That's the absolute truth. It really is. Absolute truth. But no, they're not interchangeable. Max not doing head sculpts, huh? Where do you pick those up at? Big Dev's on YouTube, same name. I will have to check him out. I don't know how I've missed him. You guys are definitely in tune with him, so I'm going to have to check him out. I want to kit bash a Harrison Ford. We look at Air Force One. Interesting. I can't find that look. Well, there's a company that has made a new record from Blade Runner back in the 80s. And Harrison Ford in Air Force One was, I think, the early 90s, if I remember correctly. When these are early 90s or mid 90s. So I guess it's a 10-year gap. So maybe you could track that down. But the Deckard figure, the Blade Runner figures are coming back. I wanted to buy Joy when she was out a year or two ago, and so she's available now again. I think I might pick up a Joy and figure it. I mean, I really connected to Blade Runner when that movie came out back in the early 80s, 84 or whatever that was. Really loved that. And along that same line, really enjoyed 2049 as well. And I don't have any figures at all from any of the Blade Runner franchise. And I think I'm going to try to track those down. But check that out. See if that will work for your Air Force One Harrison Ford. They've got a Wolverine cartoon head sculpt. It looks damn good, especially on the Days of Future Past body. Nice. Paul Rudd was 50. Are you shitting me? I didn't know he was sold. I'm playing Ant-Man. Gives me hope, right? There you go. Anne Hathaway is either medium or small buzz, can't tell. There you go. What do we got here? I had my Bond kit bash in different poses with my Connery, but slapping my kit bash female. My Roger Moore Bond is spanking a kit bash female. And his diecast Mark 7 fit plastic Mark 7 parts? No. No. And they're wrong, different color anyhow. They don't match up. The 7 plastic, like I said, are shiny, and the 7 diecast is matte finish. Two different finished paints. Max Nut Black Panther's head sculpture is 50 times better than the Hot Toys one. Really? So I don't know who made this first head sculpt that I got for my first Black Panther, because when Black Panther came out from, it was Civil War that he made his debut, right? And even though in the movie he removes his helmet, we see him in his Black Panther outfit, literally on the street tunnel scene or whatever. He takes his helmet off, and they're like, your Highness or whatever, you're the kingship or whatever they address him as such. Which is normally why or why not we may or may not get a head sculpt, is whether or not the actor actually portrayed his head in the uniform. So I thought for a fact we would have got that, and Hot Toys sold it, no head sculpt. So I bought that, and I was really pleased with it. And then Hot Toys came out with one with, I think, Black Panther movie. I don't remember which. And I don't remember the comparison between those two. But if you're saying Max Nut has a Black Panther, and God forgive me, Chadwick Boseman character, um, that's awesome because it really, if you didn't chase down a Black Panther head sculpt and you have a Black Panther, I mean, he really looks good with him holding his helmet in his hand and with his head sculpt on there. That's how I've done my Black Panther. I'm really pleased with that a lot. So it's good to hear that Max Nut is making a good Chadwick Boseman. God rest his soul. The Max Nut Tony head sculpts are awesome too. Wow. And so I'll just have to start checking out Max Nut then. Thank you for that, guys. Good lead. Hey Siri, it's Lou Vega. Happy holidays to you, man. Hope you had a good Christmas. Woohoo! Finally made it to live chat. Part me sad every time I see. Oh man, you know, and when you look into the struggle that he went through in those final years, and you remember that this dude's filming. He's making movies, battling. I think it was cancer he died from, right? He's battling this illness, and he's out there working his ass off to bring us entertainment. I mean, God bless him, man. Rest in peace. What a trooper, man. What a trooper. You know, you'll hear a lot of these actors who are, I mean, they really, their profession, they're full on into it. For instance, Will Smith has officially stated that the reason that none of us are doing this is because we're not motivated enough. He works his ass off at bringing the art to life, at being an actor, portraying these figures or these characters and making them believable and real to us and letting us to connect to them. And then you have actors that don't do shit. And, Brie Larson. And, it just really pisses you off. So these real actors, they don't much care for these fake actors. And when you realize what Chadwick Boseman was going through, and he's still producing the art that he did and giving us these amazing movies with these characters that you just absolutely fell in love with, and you care so much for the character, you really end up caring for the character when you realize what the man was going through during that time. So this is the new Jow Doll. What did I say it was? Dark skin, I think. Isn't that what it was? Where's my box? European female action BM brown skin. And I don't think it's very brown. What we should compare it to would be your typical Hot Toys skin tone, which Pepper is. And I think she goes with the wheat on one of them. So it's curious how she looks on a brown. Here. And it ends up looking very yellow. So instead of being brown, it appears more yellow with that Hot Toys head sculpt on there. So I don't know if I would call it brown. I would call it more yellow. So there you can see the Pepper head sculpt on that body. So it's called brown, but it's more of a yellow. If that answers any questions for that. That's a Jow Doll. Big Bust European BM. That's what that one is. But yeah, the Pepper head sculpts that somebody turned me on to looks good. And I'm thinking I'm going to probably see if I can't pick up a couple of them. JOQ10E BM. European shape, detachable foot, brown skin, big bust. But she has a beautiful smile, Gwyneth Paltrow does. And she's not smiling here. And also in the head sculpts that are out there, if you type Pepper, I think it was Giant Toys somebody pointed me to where I found them at. You'll see the head sculpts. And again, there's no smile. She has a beautiful smile. And that's why, looking at this, I didn't think it looked like her. But because, it's her smile that really sets her apart. Unlike Paul Rudd with his smile, just set you off on Ant-Man. You're like, that he shouldn't be smiling. But Paul Rudd's a comedian. Matter of fact, I just watched a movie that he did after he did Ant-Man, something about caretaker or something or other. Funny as hell. He plays a home health aide, more or less, taking care of I think he's a paraplegic or a quadriplegic or something. And it's just a funny ass movie. Paul Rudd is a straight comic. He's not necessarily doing slapstick. He's a straight comic. And it's just so funny. Just so funny. Pepper is not that big. Just got the Ace Toys Green Ranger. Oh man, and the White Ranger. Looking forward to 3-0 line. Did you hear the Tom Cruise rant? I didn't understand what it was, so I was like, "What the hell is he going on about?" Evidently, somebody on his crew, when they were in the process of filming, wasn't wearing the mask. And I understand somebody who wants to invoke their right as an American citizen to do whatever the hell they want. But when you have policies and lawmakers are turning their eye in their other direction for someone to do something, and from my understanding, that's what was going on. They're out there filming, and we're under COVID quarantine. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be going there. You're not supposed to be talking to anybody. You're supposed to have a mask on, and these guys weren't wearing a mask, and evidently he had been told to put his freaking mask on more than one occasion, and Cruise had it and just snapped on him because essentially he's the money for the show. It's a show that I'm pretty sure he's paying for. Cruise puts a lot of his money in his movies that he makes, and if they shut him down for whatever reason, he's out millions of bucks. And you start talking to somebody's money, you're going to get their attention real quick. So I think that's what I understand what the problem was that somebody wouldn't wear their mask. And like I said, I'm not going to stand behind or against anybody who makes a personal decision to or to not wear a mask. I'm really sick and tired of COVID in the first place. But kind of like the Christopher Nolan rant, what was going through my mind the whole time hearing Tom go off on the set of Top Gun. I think it was Top Gun, right? That he was going off on the set on? Or was it Mission Impossible? Do Mission Impossible, wasn't it? Hell, I don't remember. But, Nolan was going off about the art. Him being, again, the art of the whole thing. Some of these actors really put their soul and their heart, their money into bringing us this quality entertainment, this believable entertainment, so that when you're sitting there enjoying the show, you lose yourself in the fantasy and you want to buy the merchandise. And then there's other actors, Brie Larson, that don't do shit and get paid $5 million for a mediocre movie. And, Robert Duvall, I think it was Robert Duvall that, no, not Robert Duvall. It was Harvey Keitel, huge believer in the art, and knowing that when you're out there making your character, when you're bringing your character to life, you've got to go full on. It's their job to make us believe in what they are doing. And if you're just not doing your job for real like that, then what's the point? Honestly. So some actors kick ass and give us everything. Chadwick Boseman really, I think, gave his all. Believable performances while he's ill, dying. The man was dying, and bringing us these unbelievable performances. And then Brie Larson don't do shit. So my rant on that. Christmas is okay. I'm alive with my family. Happy to see them and mess with all my figures. I have from NECA. I'll wife is calling me. We'll see what's going on. Come on, guys. So you said you wanted some bread, some prosciutto, and what else? Want some pepperonis too? Okay. All right. You want cheese? Okay. And drink? Okay. Couple pieces of prosciutto, 4 pieces of salami here, big old piece of cheese, and about a piece of bread. More bread. You want more bread than that? All right, well, I'm going back to continue the show. No worries. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Thank you for your patience and understanding. I think probably all of you know what the story is with my wife, and she needs a lot of help, and so I had to go in there and help her real quick. So I'm sorry, guys. Anyhow, so where are we at? Blah, 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 see them and mess with all my figures. I have from NECA Mezco, Hot Toys, Ace Toys, etc. Loco. Awesome, man. Sweet. And Pepper's not that big. It'd be nice to know. So the figure that the Dow dolls that I just opened, the Asian figures, I think is what they were. Um, really have a good size. I think that's what it was. Whatever it was I did recently, I think are great pepper sizes, pepper shape bodies if you're doing a pepper pots. We can always use. She's nice. We can always use the excuse that peppers were Piper's makeup. Um, I wonder what that big blue body looks like on Arnold. Steroids got him wrong, right? Only two fights with female cousins, Mary Jane and April O'Neil. Nice, Megan Fox. I would like Kit Bash as Sarah Connor from first movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've lost a few friends and family members to this. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm with Tom on his, and we are still losing people with this bad bug. I have different opinions on the COVID bug, but I wear my mask. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta admit, when Thanos headbutted her, she did look badass in that scene. I agree, 100%. I think at that moment it justified her. That was kind of the hell yeah. That was the hell yeah moment that we needed from her, and that really is the only one, because then you see, two scenes in that in-game movie. One when Scarlet Witch is literally ripping Thanos apart, atom by atom, and he directs this ship to throw every missile that they have on the planet to just destroy the planet, with him even on it, because she's dissolving him. And all of a sudden they stop shooting at the Earth and start shooting in the sky. And they're like, what are they shooting at? And Captain Marvel shows up. That's kind of a hell yeah moment. But because it was the same scene from her movie, it really wasn't that surprising or shocking, except for maybe those of you who didn't see her movie, and that might have been the first time you've seen that. But when she's face to face with Thanos, and he's like, and she didn't even flinch, I was like, okay, that's a hell yeah moment. Can't argue that one bit. I have my Captain Marvel figure. I would like to have a couple of them actually, but they really just fucked it off. They really just did a. What can I say? That's really the whole thing about that. Robert, we'll see you, man. Good talking to you. It's also got Kit Bash of Trump with Infinity Gun. I wanted to get a Donald Trump, and I bought this last one, and it got canceled or something. I don't know what the whole deal was. I really wanted a Donald Trump. Do something similar, right? Right, there you go. Family first, always. I'm going to give him Thanos double blade too. Trump with the Infinity Gauntlet and the double blade. Hell yeah, it's all good. I thought I was going to leave like last Saturday. I figured it'd just be an in and out, and it was. I just had to take care of the situation that she was in right now. When it sucks being dependent upon somebody, and so when you have somebody that's in that situation, it sucks having to be the one that they have to depend on for everything. But your love for them goes beyond the inconvenience. No matter how inconvenient sometimes it is, and it's rough, really is. So I appreciate you guys' patience and love that you've shown me over the years, especially this last 18 months of what I've been going through with her. Some of you guys out there, you bitch and complain about your depression and all that. Screw your depression, man. Okay, everyone has their own thing. Everyone's got their own thing that they're going through, and life is like that. But some of you guys are really tired of hearing about your depression. And you're angry that you couldn't get a PlayStation 5. Well, go fuck off with your PlayStation 5. I don't mean ranting on that right now, but life certainly sucks at times. Life certainly sucks at times. No doubt about it. So, what else have we got going on over here? I heard when MCU X-Men comes, they're going to use the Rogue story where she steals Captain Marvel's powers. Is that where she gets more or less all of her powers? Because from my understanding of Rogue is that she has that stealing ability. She touches you, she has your powers, and they only last for a few moments, but she always has like this residual that stays with her of that, and that's why she's such a powerful character. Is that where she got all her from? From Captain Marvel? Who are your favorite villains in the MCU? Loki's a good villain. He's like the every villain because he's literally one of these guys who will take his knife and hold it behind his back the whole time he's telling you that he's your best friend, just waiting to stick you with it. You know what I mean? And he'll be there for you, fighting for the good guys, and the whole time he's working on his own agenda and sticking you in the back. Can't go wrong with Loki, man. Deadpool is an anti-hero, right? Venom is an anti-hero. I guess I like the anti-heroes. The that would probably be my favorite in that regard. So let me think of a real good villain. The best villain. I'm looking at my collection, thinking of what villains I possibly could have. I really liked how the Mandarin was actually played. That actor, I forget his name, Trevor tells his name. I really enjoyed that. I really didn't much care for Whiplash. What the hell's the name of the actor that played Ricky Rourke? Ricky Rourke played Whiplash. They could have done a better job there. Killmonger was a pretty good villain. I really liked that. Eric Killmonger was really good. I do like. I mean, you can't go wrong with Thanos either. Truthfully, he's like the ultimate bad guy. And one of the scenes I really enjoyed again is with Scarlet Witch when she shows up at Endgame and she's confronting Thanos, and it's Thanos from like 10 years ago or whatever, Thanos, or 5 years ago. I forget how many years in the past they went to go get this Thanos, or he came from. I forget where he came from. And she's just breaking apart. It was obviously before Age of Ultron Thanos, and she's just losing her shit. And she looks at him and she goes, "You destroyed or something everyone I've ever loved." You know, Vision and her brother, and because Ultron killed her brother, which is Thanos's thing, and whatever else. And he just looks her dead in the eye, just says, "I don't even know who you are." Oh, she's here for her revenge, and she's enacting her revenge on him, and he doesn't even have the faintest clue who she is. But not because he's killed so many that she's no measure to him, but just because it happened before it even happened. So kind of like how he had said something about when they went back to the past and found out blah 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 whatever else. And when they're like, so you did it or whatever, he's like, "Yeah, I did." So that's cool, He, even though it was in the future or whatever alternate timeline, he was still pleased with the whole process, that his plan worked more or less. But yeah, I thought that was just badass. He's like, "I don't even know who you are." Oh, and you can, like I said, you can look at that two ways. You can look at it one way, for he truthfully did not know who she was, or he'd killed so many that our existence was just nothing to him, The god, more or less, Titan, right? Titans were gods, right? I've got my Spider Noir. I'm opening him up. I'm going to do him in 2 weeks. So I'm going to enjoy opening this guy. I've got to get me some more Detachs. My Spider-Mans, I can't even get all my Spider-Mans into my collection here anymore. I've got my Deadpools stacked on top of my Detachs. I need I need 2 more Spider-Man Detachs, and I need probably 2 Deadpool Detachs. I have no place to put them. Yeah, jeez. And I don't want to have to sell my figures. Might have to. I want to see Jane Foster meeting Rocket and saying, "You." I don't remember that. If she touches you for long enough, she can keep the power, and it'll kill you. Yeah, Rogue will kill you. She can suck you dead just by taking all your stuff out. Take your life essence out of you, put them in a coma. I liked how they displayed that in one of the original X-Men movies, where Wolverine like stuck her. and right into her, and so she was at the same time she was sucking his energy out of him, and his regeneration power was such ability that he was able to regenerate while she was draining him, and which gave her regeneration power. I feel like how they did that in the movie. I forget which movie that was, where that was the case. I thought that was pretty good, like that. She was in a coma. Anyone see? Somebody had said earlier that he said the new Wonder Woman and that it was good, and it's on HBO Max or catch it anyhow. They said they can't. They said Rocket shot Jane in the ass, shot her in the ass, taking out the ether. X-Men the first movie. X-Men the first movie. Yeah, I like that scene. I thought that was pretty good. It really gives you a good understanding of what Rogue's ability is. You know, is because I think I think Deadpool has the absolute most regenerative ability. I think he regenerates more than any other Marvel or any superhero in that regards. I don't think there's anybody that regenerates as much as Deadpool does. But Wolverine is darn close to it in the regeneration ability. It's cool, but it has a big propaganda in it. World War. I hate that, man. I hate that. Some people say that movies have always been full of propaganda, and you're right. There's movies for decades that always had some message or opinion that they were wanting to get out to you or educate you on. And I don't know, it just seems nowadays it's a lot more in your face than what it was back then. Even Star Trek, the original series, Kirk and McCoy and Spock and all those, from my understanding, every episode essentially was an education. It was an opinion on something, and whether it be equal rights for women, or whether it be equal rights for different races, or whether it be the war, or big government or whatever. But from my understanding, each one of the episodes had a message to it, but they weren't necessarily straight up right into your face. I mean, you obviously could get the message. Like, I don't remember what Star Trek episode it was, but in one of them, the people literally were divided right in half. One side of them was black, and the other side of them was white. And I'm not talking about what humans consider a white person versus a black person. I mean, the right side was black, ebony black, and the left side was white, like white, and they had obviously a hatred for the other people on their planet who were just opposite. They were black on this side and white on that side, or whatever, and it was just foolish as you're watching it. And so obviously, look at them, you can see they're different. They're obviously black on the left side and white on the right side, and we are white on the right side and black on the left side. And obviously, that was a message. The movie was a message, or being famously known for having the first television kiss of Kirk and Uhuru. Again, was a message that they were doing. So people have been giving us messages for years, and that's pretty in your face. But I think nowadays they're really in our face, and I hate that. The message should be enough that you can walk away from it understanding or feeling or realizing that opinion about things, and possibly open up your heart or your mind to seeing where you might want to change your thinking for whatever reason. But when you absolutely just have to shove it down my throat, now I got a problem. 7, 8, and 9 Star Wars. I felt that they were shoving an opinion down my throat, and I didn't much care for that. So there's a right and a wrong way of telling a story to get your opinion out. Aesop's fables, from my understanding, was in regards to about the political climate of the time, and that was how he was able to express his opinion on his dissatisfaction with the government. So we're always being told stories, we're always being educated, and I can see that. Okay, but there's a difference in between getting your message to us in a manner where it's still entertaining and not offensive to somebody, or absolutely just shoving it straight into your face and calling you of this and that, whatever else, for not thinking in the right process. There's a right and a wrong way of doing it. That's my opinion on that. Boba Fett from Hot Toys. I think they're doing that, aren't they? Isn't there a new Boba Fett coming out? And oh my God, like I said again, for real, if you're even a mediocre Star Wars fan, you should be watching Mandalorian. If you're a Boba Fett fan, and that's all I'm going to say, you need to be watching The Mandalorian. And what a time to be a Star Wars fan in that regards, especially with all the figures that are coming out again. Gosh, how many Mandalorian versions of Mandalorians have they come out with now recently? And the Jedi Knights, and the whatever else is happening on that line. And oh my God, be prepared for an amazing story on that season 2, episode 8, the last episode. Oh man, all I can say. Season 2 is really good. In Mandalorian, really good. Uh, I've had to sell off my collection except one. Which one would I keep? Probably only one, huh? Wow. Jeez. The trolley. The trolley question. Do you flip the switch to save the 5 and kill the 1? Or do you let fate continue on to kill the 5? Or do you push the person off of the bridge to save them all? Only one. Huh. Only one. I guess for fact, if I could only have only one, Tom Holland Spider-Man, his classic MCU suit. Only because Spidey died goes so far back. Spider-Man was my first superhero that I connected with. Raised on Batman and Superman, obviously. Um, Huge characters that they are, and love and respect them, but there was no connection. Superman's an alien from another planet. I'm not an alien from another planet. There's no way am I going to fly or have bullets bounce off my chest or shoot lasers from my eyes or coldness from my mouth. And it's not going to happen. I can't relate to Superman. Love and respect him. Can't relate to him. Batman, a cajillionaire, martial arts expert, build any toy he want. Love him to death. Can't relate to him. No silver spoon born into my mouth. Spider-Man, average kid. He does have super intelligence. I think we all feel that we're intelligent to some degree. So I think it's still relatable. Spider-Man was just a kid who got put into a bad situation and learned real quick that he has to take the power that he was given, because his Uncle Ben had told him this: with great power comes great responsibility. He has to take the power that was given him and use it for the greater good. And when he didn't is when things turned sour on him. But he's just a normal kid, just like any of us are, and he's the most relatable. So Spider-Man is my hero, and if I could only keep one, it would have to be out of my collection right now, my Tom Holland Spider-Man MCU uniform, the classic MCU uniform. That would be it. If I could only have one, that would be it. If I had to sell everything today and only keep one, it would be that Spider-Man. That would be him. Only because Spidey's my guy. Is he my absolute favorite figure? No. It's a great figure, but not my favorite figure. He's who I relate to the most, and I can still look at it and say, I can still find my center. I can still find my zen. I can still be there and use it as an escape. Just looking at Spider-Man and realizing with great power comes great responsibility, and knowing that we all have that tough road to walk, that tough road to hoe. We all have to go through life, and in one way or another. And Spidey's there for real. I keep the one started all. I have double of him though. Chris Reeves Superman. Can't go wrong with Chris Reeve. Mandalorian saves Star Wars for me. You can repeat that a million times. Jon Favreau grabbed Mandalorian and went and did it right. Filoni, is that how you say his name? Him and John, they saved Star Wars for real. 7, 8, and 9 was really disappointing for me. Really disappointing. And Mandalorian was on target. 100% on target. Totally. Like I said, Star Wars fan, you need to be checking out The Mandalorian. It's funny. Bill Burr is a comedian and an actor, and he's a cynic. He hates everyone and everything. It seems like as he talks to you, hates himself. He does a whole rant about Star Wars, and so someone has taken on YouTube one of the episodes that he's in, and has him just going off on his stand-up comedy routine about Star Wars, and it's just so funny. So instead of him talking the Mandalorian dialogue that he does in the show, he's doing his stand-up about Star Wars. It's just funny as hell. Funny as hell. Yeah. The Mandalorian has been such a pleasure to watch. Such an absolute pleasure. So they're not putting it on disc or anything, Mandalorian. And we got to wait till next Christmas, man, for the new Star Mandalorian. Man, we got a whole year to go. Lego, Merry Christmas. Good seeing you, man. Welcome to the party. Only one that's hard for me, one of each character. You get rid of all, you keep a one of each character. I love it. Chris Reeve Superman. Just remember how wonderful it was watching that movie. Also, my first hot toy. Yeah. It was a good movie back then. It's dated nowadays. It's a good movie back then. So $300. Okay, that's it. I'm not sure what that means. The 89 Batman, Michael Keaton. I was like, well, okay, one more. Nicholson Joker. Oh, yeah. Which one? Which one of the Nicholson Jokers? Mark 85 postponed to Q3. What? What? They pushed him back that far? Oh, Jesus. Somebody was saying that had to do with the head sculpt in regards to the Mark 85. I didn't know he's pushed all the way back to Q3. Someone had said the Tony head sculpt has caused the Mark 85 to be pushed back. That's what I'd heard. That's what I'd heard. So there you go. Back to the Max Nut Tony head sculpt. And the only head sculpt that I ever had a problem with on the Tonys, and even when you look back at the original Hot Toys Iron Man, where he doesn't look necessarily as real as he does now, it's still a representation of Tony. But it was this Avenger suit head sculpt that came with that. I forget who made it, and this is not the head sculpt that's on it. But I didn't much care for that head sculpt. I thought the color in the hair was off or something, if I remember correctly. But I've got so many now. I now have so many Tony head sculpts from the figures that I've got coming around that I have the opportunity to move head sculpts around and get the look that I'm looking for on Tony's, for instance. I think I've got 3 or 4 head sculpts in the drawers over here still of Tony's. So, but yeah, someone was saying Max Nut, a couple of you actually, that said that Max Nut makes quality head sculpts. So if you're looking for a good head sculpt, evidently, look into Max Nut. I have not seen any of them, but I trust you guys. I don't think any of you have ever steered me wrong. I would love Hot Toys to do a Robin Williams Popeye. You know what's so bad about that, though, is It's like they did the hell's his name? Uh, Tonto. Who's the actor that played Tonto? Ugh. Johnny Depp. They did the Johnny Depp Tonto, but no Lone Ranger. And so here you have one figure telling a story and nothing to go with it. And that's what would be so bad if they were to do a Popeye. Would they do an olive oil? Would they do a Bluto? Is that his name? Would they do that? More than likely not. And then you end up stuck with a half a collection. You know, it's like, oh, that's Popeye. Or what is that? That's Popeye. What does he do? He fights Bruto, or he's in love with olive oil, or whatever you want to say. And I hate when they do one and not the other. Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket. So I got an Ant-Man. And I don't have his enemy. You have to have a bad guy in order to be a good guy. And I hate to say that because life shouldn't be that way. We should all be good. We should all we should all look out for each other, take care of one another. Pick up the piece of trash that's on the sidewalk that you happen to be walking by. Don't assume it's somebody else's responsibility. Take care of your world, and the world will be taken care of. But if we continue to go into our world in our own bubble and not take care of our own existence in our world, then we're going to have collapse. So take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, your others, and go that extra mile. Pick the piece of freaking trash up and put it in the garbage can. What's it hurt you? You get a little exercise while you're at it. So it's these little things that we don't do anymore. We People just don't care anymore. We're so self-focused and into ourselves that we just don't give a shit about anyone else or anything else. That I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting at a stoplight, and the person in front of me or next to me, as soon as they get to that stoplight, you know, this is what happens. Sit at a stoplight, bam, phone right in front of their face. They ain't looking up, they ain't seeing shit. They don't care if the light changes because their world is the absolute most important thing at this time. They don't give two fucks about you, whether or not you need to get to that stoplight, or if there's somebody out there that's happening. If a car in front of them is on fire and someone needs to be pulled out of it and their life saved, they don't care because their world is the most important thing right now, and that's all that they give a shit about. And I'm sick and tired of that, you guys. Get out of your bubble. Take care of your world, your 3 feet space that you're occupying. And if everybody takes care of their own 3 feet of space that they're breathing, we're going to be better off. We used to give a damn about ourselves and each other and our world. We don't anymore. That's all we care about, man. Right there. When's the last time you seen half of your friends? COVID makes it tough. But ever since the cell phone's been out, man, we don't go visit nobody. I don't need to visit you because I can just holler at you, give you a yo, what up, know everything that's going on with you because I texted you with an HRU, BRB, LOL, AFK. We don't even talk to each other anymore. Don't shake hands. COVID kind of kept that out. But we didn't even do that before then. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your world. Let's get control of this. Let's get our world back, man. Oh, I'm sorry I go off on these rants sometimes, man, but sheesh. How old was Robert Downey Jr. How old was Robert Downey Jr. when first Iron Man came out? I think Robert and I are the same age. And the first Iron Man was 2010. So, is that right? So he would have been 53, 54, 55. 2008. I want to kit bash Amber Heard slapping Johnny. Let's go. Hey, kit bash. Tom Cruise, new Iron Man, says rumors. I don't believe it. Why? First off, Tom Cruise is old as hell. I can say that because I'm pushing old as hell. Second off, why? What's wrong with Robert Downey Jr.? Why would Robert not want to be Iron Man? That's money in the bank. Robert walks onto the set of a Marvel Cinematic Universe, dude's getting paid. And they'll gladly give him that money because he brought Tony to life. Nah, I don't believe for 1 second Tom Cruise is going to be the new Iron Man. That's bull. Oh, alternate universe. I don't see it happening, man. No way. Papa was the first anti-hero in comic strips. Really? And also for the first character to be called a Superman. Interesting. That's really interesting. I did not know that. It won't be an Iron Man movie. It'll be a Tom Cruise movie. And I have no problem with Tom Cruise movies. Mission Impossible, and I'm happy to see that new Top Gun's coming out. Looks like it'll be pretty good. I imagine your face in cinemas when Tom Cruise enters as Iron Man. Jeez, I just see that smug laugh jumping on the couch. What's your New Year resolution, Siri? I gave up trying to do New Year's resolutions. I would like to be able to lose weight and control my eating and exercise more. Truthfully, those would be the things I would like to do to better myself. So I eat too much, and I don't necessarily eat bad food. I just eat too much of the food that I eat, and I don't exercise. So I would like to maybe exercise, and what was the other thing I said? Lose weight. Obviously, if you're not eating so much and you're exercising, you're probably going to lose weight. But that's what I like to do, and I think probably most people have that type of resolution. But I just give up even making a resolution anymore because hell, why would January 1 be any different than December 21st or whatever? I'm going to get up and exercise and not eat as much food and lose weight. I could do it today, and I don't know. I don't know why people make New Year's resolutions. New year, new you. God bless you if you're able to do that and you're able to stick to it and you benefit from that. God bless you. But the struggle's real. You look at some of my older videos, I wasn't as big as I am now. It's because I like to eat and I don't exercise. And obviously that's a problem. My friend's dead or married or both. Yeah. I would have a garbage bag over me and give you a huge hug. Thank you. I think it would be nice to hug everybody. That was what I was telling, my neighbors across the street. I've got some really good neighbors. I've got some okay neighbors. And then I think there's like one neighbor that no one likes on the entire street. And I was sharing with one of my neighbors. I said, when this COVID thing, we're just going to have a freaking block party. I said, I need to hug somebody. You know what I mean? And it's so sad that we are where we are with this damn COVID. Whatever your opinion is of it, and I have a pretty piss poor opinion of it, but I play the game, I put the mask on, I follow the rules, and whatever else. And obviously, my wife is at extremely high risk for contracting COVID and dying from it. If she were to catch the disease, that would be the end of her. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was extremely high risk for COVID. So, needless to say, my interactions, I'm not going to bring it home to her. So, even though I don't think I'm at risk much at all in that regards, and I think there's some of you out there that aren't at any risk whatsoever of it, and I don't want to rant on this, but when on an airplane, one person is allergic to peanuts, no one can have peanuts. I think we've gone insane. That's all I'm saying. I may be selfish and I may be wrong on that thinking, but there's a difference between your personal right and your freedoms and the personal right and freedoms of the others. And if you're imposing your will on me, then I've lost my personal right and freedom. So at what line do you draw that? Tens of thousands of people die every year from many other things. Flu and pneumonia every year. And the CDC has never really kept an accurate number of flu and pneumonia deaths every year, but they estimate that it's around 80,000 Americans every year, flu and pneumonia. They're not tracking that this year. They're counting that part of the COVID. And you can find it on the CDC website. It says that. So we have diseases and things that kill us and have killed us for years, and we've not done this. And so, your right or your will has been enforced upon everybody. And where's my personal freedom? So that's my rant on it. That's where I stand on it. But I follow the rules. I wear the mask. I do what I'm told. But you're infringing on my personal rights. And I understand the argument. Okay, yeah, you're allergic to peanuts. No peanuts on the airplane for the other 85 passengers or whatever because of one. Greater the good for the many. 5 people on the trolley track, 1 person on the trolley track, save the ship, save the lives. 1 person warped core, blah, blah, blah. Good of the few outweigh the good of the many. Good of the many outweigh the good of the few. That's the whole thing. The whole trolley question, if you're not familiar with it. A runaway trolley is going down the tracks. On the track are 5 workers that are on the track, and the trolley is going to kill them because they're not going to be able to get out of the way of the trolley before the trolley gets there, and these 5 people are going to be dead. However, there is a switch on the track that you have the ability to pull to force that trolley off of the main track that it's heading to kill these 5 people. However, if you pull that switch to divert the trolley away from the 5 people and go down the other track, there is 1 person on that track that will die. So in the trolley story, someone's going to die. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The question is, do you pull the switch to save the 5 by killing the 1? Or do you not pull the switch and the 5 die just because that was what fate had determined already, and by your inaction, fate continues on with its path? Or by your action, do you pull the switch, diverting fate, but fate still has to pay the price of death and takes 1? And then it gets even worse. There's a third option. Over this track that the trolley is traveling down, on its way to kill 5 people, with a switch allowing it to go onto another track, which is only going to kill 1 person, and you have the authority and the ability to pull that switch and kill only 1 and save the 5, or not pull that switch and kill the 5 and save the 1. There's a third alternative. There just so happens to be a bridge that crosses this trolley track, and there is a very overweight individual on the bridge. And if you push this person off of the bridge, they will land in front of the trolley and they will die, and it will stop the trolley from killing the people on the tracks. 3 options. Do nothing, 5 people die. Pull a switch, 1 person dies. Push the person off of the bridge, he dies. Any way you look at it, someone's going to die. What do you do? And that's the trolley conundrum. And that's life. That's COVID. Someone's going to die. None of us are immortal. We're all going to die sooner or later. Some of us sooner rather than later. Chadwick Boseman was taken away from us way before his time. Imagine how many more movies that guy could have done. Cancer took his life. What a bitch cancer is. We're all going to die. None of us are immortal. Do you pull the switch? Do you wear the mask? Do you not wear the mask? Do you eat the peanuts? Do you not eat the peanuts? Someone's dying. Any way you look at it. Where do you stand on that? And what does that say about you? That's life. That is life. New Year's resolution: for God's sake, Robert, save your money. Stop buying hot toys. You've been talking to my wife. Wish you an early Happy New Year, Siri. Wishing you and all of you in this little chat as well. Happy New Year 2021. We'll be doing another live stream. Yes, I will. Every Saturday I'm here unless something happens. I'll be here, and I'm going to be opening up my replicated Dragon's Lair 1/6 scale arcade video game, which is a video game that I spent probably $1,000 playing way back in 1984 or thereabouts when that was out. So I'm looking forward to that. I really enjoyed that. 31, then 32 ways of 34, then 38, now 40, and I think I'm pushing close to 50. Yeah, I was most of my life, I was a 32 waist most of my life, my adult life. Isn't that crazy? I want to join you on that journey of weight loss and keep each other motivated, positive about it every way. I mean, it'd be nice to do that. It really would. 40 inch waist. What about you? Like I said, I'm pushing 50. I got boobs. You crazy, man. 36. There you go. There's hope for you. 36 is good. At 30, anything is good. You know what I mean? 32, 50. Oh, you're catching up to us, Lego. Watch out, man. It's gonna snowball on you if you don't watch it. I missed 30, right? I was thinking of buying those flex pants. Yeah, we might as well put on yoga pants, man. Might as well grab your sweatpants. As soon as you no longer have that feeling of your fullness around you, you just keep getting more and more and more. Most of my pants are those flex pants, George Foreman elastic pants. Cut down completely of sugar. I really need to go for pure raw honey. Too much sugar is bad for you, 100%. It really was, if you look back on things, when they discovered sugar last 400 or 500 years ago or whatever it was, really changed a lot of how we do things. And sugar is more available to us now than it's ever been in our life. And it has a lot to do with a lot of the problems that we have. But too much of anything is bad, all actuality. Stretchy jeans, they do. They make stretchy jeans. If I eat pizza, soda, pretty much it's my diet. Oh man, that's the worst. The salt in the soda keeps you from losing. Makes you retain water. The salt in the soda makes you retain water. The bread makes you retain. The bread instantly turns to sugar. As soon as you put starch on your tongue, it converts it over to a sugar. So now you got to burn the sugar, and yeah, that'll do it to you, man. It really is. I've heard some people do. Matter of fact, a lot of the MCU actors do what I think they call it intermittent fasting. And trust me, I'm not pushing any of this on any of you or anything. But from my understanding, some of the guys, they will only eat for like an 8-hour period or a 6-hour period or something like that. That's it. And then for the rest of the day, whether it be 16 hours, they don't eat anything, or 18 hours, they eat nothing. So during that 8-hour period or whatever it is, the working day, they eat sensibly, and then for the rest of the day and the time that they're sleeping, they don't consume anything. Water, I would imagine, would be the only thing they take. And I understand that the MCU guys, a lot of them have done that. Whether or not it's healthy or safe or reasonable or whatever to do, I think it's called intermittent fasting. And it's something that you may want to consider looking into, and in that regards. But I'm no dietitian, and I'm not giving medical advice at all or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. I'm just sharing something that I had read that seemed pretty interesting. This would be a ghost, and people will all maybe you can't see your junk, and all you see is belly. When you got a dicky do, your belly sticks out further than your dicky do. 35 years young, and we can do a diet plan that is fun and proactive. I think it was 30 something when my body said fuck you and decided I was going to get overweight. So I was fit my entire life until 30 something. 34, 35, I think is when I started going the other direction. And it's so sad because people who've never knew me in my younger life, they see this. And I hate to say this, but we judge a book by its cover. We do. And whenever somebody sees this, who I am today, a lot of times I have that struggle of making them realize that this isn't who I've been for 50 years or whatever, you know? I didn't look like this. I was active and involved in every single sport you could possibly think of and fit. And I was not an overweight kid. I was not an overweight young man. I was not fat. I didn't have a weight problem for the most part, you know? And then all of a sudden 30 something hit and my body said, fuck you. And blah. Now there's two of me sitting here. So that's life, man. Intermediate fasting, is that what they call it? I wish he is fun and cool. No, that's discipline. Hell, even Tom Holland, a friend from Homecoming, is jacked now. Martin, would you like to take a closer look at the figure right in front of you? Martin would like to take a closer look at the figure right in front of you. This one? You want to see this fight? This Jow doll? Jow doll, it's what I unboxed today. The Jow doll, European shape, detachable foot, brown skin, big bust, JOQ10E BM. So it's called BM, and BM stands for brown. I don't know what the M stands for, but that's the codes on them. PS is pink skin, YS yellow skin, BS black skin, WS wheat skin. So I don't know what BM stands for, the M, but B is brown. And I actually would call her a more yellow when I put her on compared to a wheat skin or suntan skin, if you're looking at Fison. This is a pale skin Fison on that regards. Jow dolls make a different shaped figure compared to the Fison figures. So it's a nice alternative to that when you're going with your seamless body characters, which are great when you're displaying the female form in this regards. I have not yet bought any of the male form seamless bodies. At one point I said I had no need for them. It is I'm looking at my collection. I actually do. I have a lot of characters that would probably benefit from doing a seamless body on them, and so I really need to consider doing that. But this is the big bust, and in comparison, the bust size of the largest bust Fison is such, and the Jow doll has definitely a much more ample bosom on her than the Fison does, and the Butai as well in that regards. So in your kit bashing, depending on which body type you're trying to recreate or which body type you're wanting to display, will also determine which company you go with in regards to your seamless body figure for that opinion. The Jow dolls also come with painted fingernails. Some very rare Fisons have painted fingernails, but the most do not. Some Fisons, very rare again, and hasn't been for a long time. And you get a head sculpt, have movable eyes. I don't believe I've ever seen a Jow doll that comes with a head sculpt at all. They might, but I don't remember seeing any. Some Fisons come with head sculpts, some do not. Sometimes they'll release an A and a non-A or whatever version. This will be like a 42 and a 42A, and the only difference is one comes with a head sculpt and one doesn't. For that regard, Jow doll also includes not only a flat foot and a toe high foot for putting into high heel shoes, a flat foot and a high heel shoe, but also Fison or Jow doll also includes a no toe foot in case it don't fit necessarily into the shoe that you're going with. Also with different figures, Fison and Jow doll and whatever else, they may or may not be interchangeable between the two franchises in regards to the connections on these. And even Fison has multiple size joints on their wrists and ankles. So even some of them are not interchangeable. Um, gel dolls come with a bikini. Most of the Fisons do not. And also, the gel dolls also come with head sculpt um, alternatives. From my understanding, and I've never removed one of these, but from my understanding, you can remove, and I'm going to try it right now, this um, neck joint and put on it a different one. So I'm going to try that right now. First, I'm going to see if it unscrews instead of just popping it off. I don't know how it works, but from my understanding, this can be replaced. I don't see it getting any bigger as I unscrew it. So let me just see if I can pop it off. It's not coming out. But for whatever reason, they include alternate head sculpt attachments. Let me get the instructions. And when all else fails, read the instructions, right? Come on now, stand up. What does it say about the head sculpt neck pieces that they give us? Here's your instructions. Oh, it says head installation instructions, simple enough. Movement scope of head moving out of the scope may get damaged at the skeleton joints and the rubber coating. And here, step 1, press down hard on the card slot. Step 2, rotate 45 degrees to the right. Installation success. Just some instruction. Third step, gently with forceps rotated 90 degrees left unloaded. Let's peel this neck back, have a look in here. See what the hell's going on. The neck's definitely glued to this piece here. It unscrews, guys. It 100% unscrews. Okay? So with your jowl doll, there have been in the past, and I have seen these, head sculpts that didn't necessarily fit on this giant ball. And so jowl doll offers you the opportunity to unscrew this neck joint and put in it one of these others for other head sculpts out there. And I have seen in my days that head sculpt attachment, or even these smaller ones compared to this metal one. And so jowl doll offers you that, and it simply just unscrews. You don't have to peel her neck down like I just did. And then you would just screw the new one in there. So that's cool. That's really cool. I was curious how that worked. I never read the instructions on it. So now that answer has been answered. Thank God I didn't keep pulling on it. That would have been a problem. And no, you don't have to fold that down to get to it. It's just unscrew it. Simple as that. When in doubt, read the instructions, right? when they scarf down following day. Oh man, pieces every single day. Part wishes to be a ghost. All right. Can't see your job. Do a diet plan for my terms. Intermediate fan, find it cool. I was just yeah, that guy is so ripped. Marvel's paying him to be ripped for a role. Who's that? Yeah, he got fit really fast. So weird. It's mostly diet and exercise, but diet goes fast. He was dedicated gym trainer, food nutrition. Just been let's buy some heavy weight bench and get going, my friend. Just like Big Dub. He lost all that weight, right? Only one way I run if Kim Kardashian's running in front of you chasing her. Kim Kardashian, huh? The sacrifice you got to make. No pizza, no ice cream. Don't say it. It's not true. Oh. Female characters are big busted, not many. Maybe Black Cat. Yeah. I imagine a Hulk figure done by Fison. Oh man, could you imagine? That would be damn cool. Kit Bash's Zombie Hulk. I'd love to get a 1/6 Swamp Thing. Isn't they making that right now? There isn't there. Something I ordered has spent the last few days traveling back and forth because between two distribution facilities. That sucks. Is the material as good as TV's? It feels to be. It feels to be the same. Christopher Superman. I noticed his body is slender and toned, very much like Bruce Lee. A lot of people do him with an Arnold body. I saw an Alex Ross, Chris Reeve painting like the comics in Crisis holding Supergirl. He looks so slender and toned. Beautiful painting. And I am going to cut you guys loose. I've had you all for 2 hours. I thank you very much. Again, I hope you had a great Christmas. Enjoy spending the time with you. Love you guys. Love every one of you. And I'll be here next week. We're going to open up that Replicate and talk like we always do, and whatever else is going down. Week after that, we're going to do Spider Noir from PlayStation. And the week after that, we're going to do Captain America Old Soldier with the park bench. We're going to do that. And that's what I've got right now. And I've got a lot of figures coming. Mark 21 Midas, the Wasp, some of the other ones that you guys are very familiar with. So thank you very much, guys. Subscribe to Patreon. Hook me up if you have the money you want to send to me. I'd appreciate it. $1 is beautiful. If you can send more, I'd love it. If you can't, hey, I enjoy you guys being here no matter. And subscribe and share the channel. Let other people know where they can go and welcome them into the group. And I thank you very much. I love every one of you all. Thank you. I hope you had a great Christmas again. And I hope you have very safe New Year's if you're out there. Be mindful of each other and don't drink to excess. And if you are drinking to excess, don't drive home. Please take an Uber or some other form, or spend the night somewhere and sleep it off. Be careful out there. And don't drink so much you end up dead from alcohol poisoning either. And I love you guys. In peace. I'll see you.